Hey everyone, it's Matt Wilson, product manager for the Secure Threat Insights team. You might have noticed I just said secure. We recently decided to move the Defend group Threat Insights, which includes vulnerability management, over onto the secure stage. It's part of a larger strategy to better align the vulnerability management aspects with the scanner teams, and will help us be even more responsive as we try to mature all the respective categories, as well as lend a hand in our request for AST leadership. So same team, I'm still doing the same work. The engineering team is still the same. Our mission, roadmap, goals are all still the same. We're just functionally aligned under secure now. So look for the videos in secure and not defend going forward. With that said, this is the 13.3 release kickoff, and I'm going to talk through what we are going to work through. So I'm going to do this one a little bit differently. I'm going to start by talking about the two things that we were working on last time. So the majority of these did get delivered, but there's a little bit on the fence. So I just want to mention what's going to potentially carry over to 13.3. The first is this vulnerability list enhancement. So this was a pretty big effort to take the existing, we call this the vulnerability list view. So this is what you would see on the project dashboard, as well as the group and the instance level. It's a little bit different layout. This will make sense when I talk about something in a minute, but we have a lot more real estate on the project level dashboard because we don't have the metric switches to the side here. So as you can see, we were planning to add a lot of information, additional information. So we have this nice identifier column, which if there's a CVE or a CWE that's provided by the vulnerability report from a particular scanner, we can now display that. Adding other niceties like line numbers, so you can actually see the specific line number in the affected file for certain scan types, as well as more detail here. So we used to refer to these as the reports. We think scanners a little bit more descriptive, clear name. You'll also notice that we've got type of scanner with, there's another name below it. Let's say GitLab, white source, that's one of our official integration partners. So this is to give just extra clarity about where the result comes from. This little piece right here is something that's going to continue to be worked on in 13.3. If you only have the multiple GitLab scanners that are included with Ultimate turned on by default, we're not going to show the name there because it would be redundant information to show GitLab. So that's one little minor tweak. Another thing we didn't quite get to in 13.2 that will continue forward in 13.3 are showing the same vendor names next to the scanner, the scan type name. So for right now, you're going to see the same behavior in the scanner dropdown. Instead of it breaking it out by vendor, you'll just see simply one entry for SAST, DAST, etc. So these are some of the little things that we're going to be working on for this issue, but the majority of it is being delivered in 13.2. So we're really excited to start seeing more information all on the overview page. So you can do a lot more without having to drill into the individual vulnerability details. Another one that I want to mention is linking an existing issue to a vulnerability. So this is one that also we got very close to the line, and we realized at the very end that there was something that was a little bit confusing. So we actually took a pass to retool a little bit of the UX here. So one of the things that you can do, of course, is from a vulnerability, you can create an issue. Now these issues, the issue that you create from a vulnerability is sort of a special linkage. But we were adding in the ability to relate other issues. So from any project, you could actually take an existing issue, just like you can add related issues inside of, well, issues today. You would be able to do this from the vulnerability itself. However, this would be sort of a problem if you unlink the issue. You could create it directly from the vulnerability since it's a special link. So this is an adjustment we're making to the original plan. You'll notice there's a little lock icon here. If you hover over it, it'll tell you that the issue that you've created from the vulnerability cannot be removed. But you, of course, can still remove anything else. These could be for information. This could be tracking. It could be putting it on the radar of another team, what have you. So just another little improvement that we'll be carrying over from 13.2 and into 13.3. Now, I mentioned it was going to make a little bit more sense on the vulnerability enhancement list. I was talking about things being specific to the project level because they have more horizontal real estate. Well, to that end, I wouldn't normally talk about a design issue, but the reason I'm going to focus on the design level here is it's a better way to give sort of a whole picture of where we're going to go over the next couple of iterations. So the group level security dashboard is a great way to see a roll-up of all vulnerability information inside of one particular group, so you can get all the projects. And we also have some metrics, widgets, for lack of a better term, metrics components, that will show you things like vulnerability trends over time, as well as a project scorecard. Well, those are great, but they do sort of restrict a little bit of the parity between the dashboards. So what we're going to move towards over the next iteration or two is actually splitting out. So today we only have one entry for security dashboard, and you would see the vulnerability list here off to the left, and then these components are on the side. So we're really just taking the same information, we're kind of breaking it apart. This is more about setting ourselves up for the future than anything else. So by making this we'll call it a true dashboard, we'll have the flexibility to add in many more components, not just from the scanners or the vulnerability management aspect of it, but other parts of security as we expand out the product. So you'll note below there's vulnerability list. So this will be a new submenu component. You'll start to see the same kind of behavior if your project's not configured, for instance. And then this is what it'll look like. So this should be pretty much identical to the project level view that you will see, except it covers all projects inside of the particular group. So a lot more horizontal real estate, so then we can add in these things like we have proposed for the future, such as an activity column. You'll see the identifier and then scanner columns from that I just showed off as well. So again, we're setting ourselves up for the future here. We're going to try to split the existing, this vulnerability list or report off into a separate page for 13.3, and that's the group instance dashboard, sorry, the group dashboard. And then finally, we're going to do something very similar, but take it even a step further for the instance security dashboard. Right now, when you go up to the More menu, you have the security option. This is how you get to the instance dashboard. And it kind of takes you to a standalone page. It's a little disconnected. There's no other real menu items, and it's all the behaviors handled inside of a single page. So this is the concept that we're going to be working on over the next couple of iterations to really start filling it out into more of a security-focused area at the instance level. So first thing you'll note, we have the security dashboard off to the side, very, very similar to the group treatment, basically identical. So just keeping these existing metrics components here, and then we can start filling this in with additional security information, charts, graphs, high-level metrics over time. So they now have called a first-class home to live in. Again, same thing as what we're doing for the group treatment. We are splitting out that vulnerability report into a separate menu item, a lot more horizontal real estate, and then it also gives just a much more focused experience. And when you're in here doing your vulnerability triage, if you're trying to do that at an instance level where you want to look across the projects you have configured, it's all right here in one place. We're also going to be keeping same sort of, if it's not configured, you've got your same messaging inside of these individual pages. So you'll get the prompt to add your projects, something that exists today. You'll see the same thing from the dashboard if it's not configured. Both of those buttons, however, oops, I skipped too fast. So you'll see this add project button. This was on both of these tabs, if nothing is configured. It will take you to this new settings area. This is again, existing behavior in the current instance dashboard. This is where you search for and select which specific projects that you would actually like to be incorporated into this dashboard. Seems like a minor change to split it out, but what this also does is it gives us a settings area for other instance level security features going forward. So this again could be scanner level configuration across an entire instance. It may be something on the container side, but by breaking all these things apart, it's opening up a lot of flexibility for us to move in directions that would be challenging with the UI today. So that's kind of why I wanted to give a full overview of it. We're going to attempt over 13.3 and likely into 13.4, iterating towards breaking these pieces apart. But this is what you should expect to see over the next couple of releases. So that's what I have for everybody today. I hope everyone enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing all the evolution of our security dashboards and the vulnerability management piece in general over time. Thanks for watching.